What's up, Panther Nation, and welcome back to an episode of Bleed Black and Blue. So, guys, sorry I've been gone for a couple weeks. Life has been crazy as hell. So, we're not gonna talk about the Baltimore game because that's in the past. Let's talk about this past week. Another home victory, guys. That's 3 home victories in a row. We waited a whole calendar year to get one, and now Steve Wilks in this defense has given us 3 straight. I mean, what more could you possibly ask for? 3 straight home wins. That's awesome. One problem is that we can't win on the road. Because right now I think we're third in the division. I mean, imagine the way I look at it. Imagine what the season could look like if we didn't throw away the Atlanta game about 4 weeks ago, and the home opener against Cleveland. We had both those games. We had both of them. Had them. 2 more games would be what, 6-6, something like that. We'd be probably, I believe, winning the division. We'd be in the playoffs as of right now in Week 12, going into our bye week. But you know what? It is what it is. We're 4-8 right now, third in the division, no longer at the very bottom. So that's a good thing. Let's see. We won 23-10 over the Broncos. Honestly, this should have been an easy win for us, like it was. The Broncos are a terrible, not I was an organization, but a terrible team right now. I don't know what the hell happened to Russell Wilson in the past year. It's gone from like Russell that used to like cook against us to like basically he's like Sam Darnold now, or like even a Baker Mayfield. He looks terrible. The Broncos spent a lot of money to have him play this bad. Again, our defense, from what I saw, again, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I watched as many highlights as I could possibly get my eyeballs on in the past few days. So I saw a lot of stuff. Wilson looked really bad. He looked rattled. Our defense dominated this game, guys. 10 points is like nothing in the NFL nowadays. 10 points is nothing. This defense was ferocious. Brian Burns is having a Pro Bowl caliber season. He's going to get the double-digit sack mark. He had 2 more on Sunday. 2 sacks in a game, folks, that's awesome. Like, it is so hard to get 1 in a game, or even a half of 1, let alone 2 full sacks. I think we had 3 on the day. I saw Frankie Louvu was flying around like a crazy man, like he always does. Jeremy Chin back, doing his damn thing. So glad he's back. You definitely miss Dante Jackson on the outside. Even though he did get burned a few times, you still miss his presence out there. But, I mean, let's talk about the offense. The offense put up some points. This is like a rarity for us this season, it seems like. Steve Wilks, I mean, I'll give him credit, man. The guy's got this team playing hard. He's got him playing tough. This team didn't believe in Matt Rule, I don't think. I think this team kind of gave up on Matt Rule. So I kind of addressed kind of what he said. I saw comments about, like, the comments I saw, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it looked kind of like he was, like, taking credit for leaving Steve Wilks a great team and Scott Fitter a great team. Dude, you built a terrible team. You talk about he's not responsible for the draft picks. We had this dude drafted a freaking punter. Get the frick out of here, Matt Rule. Go to Nebraska. Go losing the Big Ten to Ohio State and Michigan every year. Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to get your teeth kicked in there. Sorry. It's going to happen. So for him to say something like that and just say I sucked. Just be honest. Like, that's what I'd do. I'd be like, I was terrible. I did a terrible job. I misused my offensive line, my running backs. Again, I'm still bothered by McCaffrey trade. It sucks. Again, it's been like 4 weeks now, whatever. I still love the guy. You know, he's a great player for us. But I can't argue with the 2 big changes, I think, that's led to a couple wins for us since we traded him, is you're pounding the football. Every time this team has been good, we've had a good offensive line, a stud defense, which we're very close to having a stud defense. I think we're a couple players away from having a very good defense. I really do believe that. We have a great young corner defense. We've always had 2 good running backs. A good, even an average quarterback. Like Jake Delhomme was nothing fantastic, guys. He was just feisty and competitive, and I loved Delhomme. I thought he was great. But you know what? We gotta look at those teams, man. You had Stephen Davis and Deshaun Foster. Stephen Davis and Deshaun Foster, that era. Then we had, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, ground and pound. Like, so this team is definitely missing quite a few things. I don't think as many as I thought we did. I like to see Terrence Marshall maybe be consistently active in the game and like getting the ball, making plays. But again, it's his second year. He's been injured for most of it. We definitely need to add a tight end to this game because I just don't think Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble are the answer. So maybe go out and get a tight end the second or third round. Georgia has, like, I think 3 tight ends coming out, and they're all pretty freaking good. So it's a possibility we could look at for the offense because this team needs a tight end, man. We're very good. Every time we've been good, again, we've had tight ends, 2 stud running backs, and a great O-line and a vicious defense. Obviously, you can say that about a lot of teams. That's our identity. Our identity has always been running the football. Every time we've been good, we run the football good. Every time we've been good. And Dante Foreman, let's see here. He had 24 carries for 113 yards. This dude's just like a 100-yard machine now a game, which is just, it's awesome. Like, you need that. He's a bully. And again, Bradley Bozeman is quickly becoming one of my favorite Panthers on this roster. Why? I understand we had Elfline start the season, but I don't think he should have. Clearly, this offensive line has gotten so much better since Bradley Bozeman has come into this season. Bradley Bozeman is a monster up front. He's a leader. You can tell the guys in the line love him. Aquano, Icky, he's gotten better. I mean, the line's just getting better and better as we go. They even made Sam Darnold look good. Sam Darnold, he was, let's see here. I wrote down the stats here. 11 of 19 for 164 yards and a rushing touchdown where he fumbled it, fell on the ground, and then rolled into the end zone. But you know what? In the stat line, it counts all the same. And everyone's like, oh, beard to Darnold. Like, let's calm down. Most guys in the NFL can grow a beard. It doesn't change who he is. He's going to be a good backup for another 10 years in the NFL. He's not the future. Baker's not the future. PJ's not the future. The future is in the draft. I mean, that's what it's going to be. So it depends where we're going to land because honestly, we could fall more in the draft because I see us win a couple more games, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. I mean, you can never really get mad about winning because we got the Lions. That'll be a tough game because the Lions are a lot better than people think they are. We got the Lions, Pittsburgh, we got Seattle after our bye week, and then Tampa, New Orleans. So it'd be interesting to see how things shake out at the end of the season because I feel like, barring any more injuries, I feel like Sam Darnold's going to close out the season for us because he really can't. He just won you a game, so you got to kind of stick with him. And Baker being upset about not being started, whatever, dude. He's had his chance at the beginning of the year. He was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. Yeah, I mean, what else can we say? I mean, it's great to win home games. It's great to win football games in general. Winning a football game in the NFL is so freaking hard. Even with an interim coach, Steve Wilkes has done great things with this team. This team's been a lot more competitive than they were under Matt Rule, I believe. I think the change in the voice in the room has helped. I don't know if he's going to get the interim tag taken off just because the team hasn't done enough. I think if they win out, which they could, if they win out and somehow make a run to try and make the playoffs, I see them maybe keeping Steve Wilkes as the head coach. But I see them maybe keeping him on as like the coordinator again, but defense like he was. So again, if they were to keep him, I have no problem with that. He seems to be a leader, and it seems like the guys respect him. You see the after game press conferences. These guys, it looks like they believe in him. It's nice to see some fight in this team again. Because a couple weeks ago, it just looked like this team was just like ready to put out the pasture and just ready to quit. And you never want to see that from a team. You never want to see your team ready to quit, no matter what the record is. These guys are rich dudes. They get paid a lot of money to basically play a kid's game, man. And it's exciting to see competitiveness. But another thing we do need to really kind of get after is defensive end, man. Yidris Gross-Matos, I don't think he's really the answer as your full-time rotational piece, perhaps. But he's just, I don't know, man. I'm not really as hyped on him as I am Brian Burns. Derek Brown, still bullying people up the middle. I love that. I thought he was good. Words tonight, guys. I thought his goose was cooked at the beginning of the season. And then like week 4 or 5, he just turned it on. And you know what? I think he's getting paid in the offseason, and Brian Burns needs to get paid in the offseason. That should be your priorities right there. And maybe possibly look at Jeremy Chin. I'm not sure what his contract is. I'm not sure if he's still in the rookie one or not. What year? I forget how many years he's been in the league now. So many players and numbers and stats and all that to remember just off the top of my head. But if Jeremy Chin's up, you got to go out. You got to pay these dudes. Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. If they're up for extensions, you got to pick them up. Those are 3 key pieces to your defense. Dante with his injury, I don't know, man. They might release him and try to eat the money because it's bad. I think it's like 2 or 3 seasons in a row he's been injured. The season's ending because of injuries. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there as well. But looking forward, I think Darnold's probably the star of the rest of the season. It just stinks. It's another almost basically a blown season for DJ Moore. He's having a solid season, but nobody really realizes it because he plays in Carolina, and Carolina doesn't get any coverage because we haven't been competitive for a couple of years now. Like when Cam was here, we got a lot of coverage. As soon as Cam left, our talent went out the door, went down the drain. So it'd be nice if we can get a quarterback in here to get DJ Moore some love, man. We all love DJ Moore. He's the man. He signed that extension in the offseason. The guy's a very underrated wide receiver, and it sucks that I try to explain this to people where I live, which is in Ohio, as you guys have known. I've told you this 100 times. So in case you haven't known, I live in Ohio, so I'm in Browns country. I try to tell my friends who are Browns fans, DJ Moore, he's a lot better than Stat Show. You have to watch him play. He hasn't had a quarterback since he's been here besides Cam Newton. And I think Cam Newton's last year was DJ Moore's rookie season. Ever since then, he's had Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker, Baker Mayfield. I want to say Kyle Allen and Teddy Bridgewater. Not exactly cream of the crop quarterback play that he's had to use. And the dude's still putting up 1,100 yards a season with terrible quarterback play. Terrible. And him being the only receiver on the field really worth a damn. Shi Smith, I don't know. Terrence Marshall, the answer's still out on him, honestly, because he just hasn't played enough. It'd be nice if he could be our number 2, if he could be our Mush Mahaba to DJ Moore, Steve Smith. It'd be nice if we could have that. It'd be nice to have a 1-2 punch like all the good teams have. So I think Dante Foreman is going to finish the season strong, and I really think Carolina's going to pay him. I've said this a couple of times. I think in a 3 to 4 year contract, because you don't want to pay a running back too much like we did with McCaffrey. That kind of bit us in the ass. Luckily, we got out of it. Fortunately and unfortunately, we had to get rid of him. But you don't want to throw a lot of money at running backs just because they're so injury prone. Their shelf life is so short. But I think Dante Foreman is a freaking monster, and I think this offensive line is ready to roll. We just need a quarterback. I think we get a quarterback, we're going to see a world of difference next year. A competent quarterback, and we will see a world difference on this team going into 2023. So I'm excited to see how the season finishes out because we have some very winnable games against some very bad opponents. And some opponents we've already beat once this season, which is New Orleans and Tampa. So Brady's got his teeth. Brady just lost to the Browns in overtime last week. So he looks human. This may be his last season, so I think we can take advantage of that. And the Saints, we own the Saints right now, so it's always fun and exciting. But the Lions game, I think, will be an interesting one. And Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh's got a solid defense when T.J. Watt's out there. It's be interesting to see how Icky plays against one of the top 2 pass rushers in the league. So it'll be interesting to see how the season shakes out, guys. I don't know if we're gonna make the playoffs. It's a long shot at this point at 4-8. We would have to win out and have a lot of things go our way. But my thing is, I've heard a lot of people say on other Panthers podcasts and stuff that just be entertaining, just show that fight, show these fans and this fan base why we should spend money on your jerseys and your apparel and tickets to the game and just all the stuff that comes with it. So we just want to see some fight, finish the season strong. That's all I got for you guys tonight. And enjoy our bye week. We don't have no Panthers football this week, so a nice little break for us. And I will be back the week after that, and we'll talk about the Seattle game after it's done. All right, later.